Hello, fifth graders, and happy Monday. Today we're going to talk about how volume is additive, how we can find the volume of two smaller figures and add them together to find the volume of a larger figure. I know you're going to do a great job, and so does Mr. Smiles. Let's dive right into our video. First, let's talk about writing numbers in expanded form. When we write numbers in expanded form, we multiply each digit times its place value. So, let's take a look at some examples. What's 352 and 108 thousandths written in expanded form? Well, first, the 3 is in the hundreds place, so I would multiply 3 times 100. 5 is in the tens place, so I would multiply 5 times 10. 2 is in the ones place, so I would multiply 2 times 1. 1 is in the tenths place, so I would multiply 1 times 1/10. And 8 is in the thousandths place, so I would multiply 8 times 1 over 1,000. Now you try. Write 1,485 and 38 hundredths in expanded form. Go ahead and try that now. The correct answer is 1 times 1,000 plus 4 times 100 plus 8 times 10 plus 5 times 1 plus 3 times 1/10 plus 8 times 1 over 100. Now try another. What's 2,040 and 85 thousandths written in expanded form? The correct answer is 2 times 1,000 plus 4 times 10 plus 8 times 1 over 100 plus 5 times 1 over 1,000. We have also talked about rounding decimals. Let's round this decimal, 582 and 187 thousandths, to the nearest whole number, tenth, and hundredth. First, let's round to the nearest whole number. So I have 582 and 187 thousandths. Which digit is in the ones place? 2 is in the ones place. So this is between 582 and 583. Does the 1 tell me I'm closer to 582 or 583? This number rounds to 582. Now you try a couple. Round 582 and 187 thousandths to the nearest tenth. Which digit is in the tenths place? The 1 is in the tenths place. Go ahead and round now. This number is between 582 and 1/10 and 582 and 2/10. The 8 in the hundredths place tells me that I should round to the larger tenth. Now you try another. Round this number to the nearest hundredth. The correct answer is 582 and 19 hundredths. We've also talked about multiplicative comparison when multiplying by fractions, mixed numbers, or fractions equal to 1. Would the product be greater than, less than, or equal to 1 3/4? 1 3/4 times 1/2. Is 1/2 greater than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1? It's a proper fraction, and proper fractions are less than 1. So that means that this would be less than 1 3/4. 1 3/4 times 1 1/3. Is 1 1/3 greater than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1? It's greater than 1, so that means that this product would be greater. 1 3/4 times 4/4. Is 4/4 greater than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1? It's equal to 1, so that means that this product would be equal to 1 3/4. We've also talked about finding a fraction of a number. When I find a fraction of a number, I multiply. What is 2/3 of 1/2? Well, what's 2/3 times 1/2? It's 2/6, but that's not a final answer. I can simplify. What's the largest number that goes into both 2 and 6? Well, it's 2. When I divide by 2 and by 2, what's my simplified fraction? It's 1/3. Try another. What's 4/5 of 3/4? Well, what's 4/5 times 3/4? It's 12 over 20. What's the largest number that goes into both 12 and 20? It's 4. When I divide both by 4, what's my new fraction? It's 3/5. Now you try one. Make sure you write your answer in simplest form. What's 3/4 of 2/6? The correct answer is 1/4. 3/4 times 2/6 is 6/24. When I divide both by 6, I get 1/4. Now it's time for your cumulative review. Make sure that you organize your scratch paper into 4 boxes and go to Mat.5 Cumulative Review. Show all of your work. Today we're going to talk about additive volume, or finding the volume of composite figures, figures made of more than one rectangular prism. Remember, there are 2 formulas for volume. We can multiply length times width times height, or we can multiply the area of base times the height. We'll use that today to help us. Let's look at a problem together. John is packing 8 boxes into a wooden crate that is a rectangular prism. Once he packs in the boxes, there will be no gaps or overlaps. Each box is 2 inches high, with a base that is 10 inches long and 8 inches wide. So I know the length, width, and height of each box. What is the total volume in cubic inches of the wooden crate? So I know there are 8 boxes that all have the same volume. I need to find the volume of each box and then multiply by 8. I know that each box has a length of 10, a width of 8, and a height of 2. What's the volume of each box? Well, 8 times 10 is 80, times 2 is 160. So each box has a volume of 160 cubic inches. Now I can multiply by 8 to find the total volume. 160 times 8. What's the total volume? Well, 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 more is 12. So the answer is 1,280 cubic inches. Now you try a problem that is very similar. Diamond is mailing 3 packages to her cousin. Each package is 4 inches tall and has a base with an area of 12 square inches. What is the total volume in cubic inches of the 3 packages Diamond is mailing? So you know the base area is 12, you know the height of each package is 4, and you know there are 3 packages. Find the volume of each package and multiply by 3. Go ahead and do that now. The correct answer is 144 inches cubed. We can also find the volume of composite figures by finding the volume of 2 smaller rectangular prisms. Let's look at the first one. I can separate it into 2 smaller rectangular prisms. So I know that the volume of the first one can be found with a length of 10, a width of 2, and a height of 6. I need to know the length of the second one. If the total length is 15 and I've already used 10, what's the remaining length? It's 5. The width is still 2, and the height is 3. Find the volume of the first rectangular prism. Go ahead and do that now. The volume of the first rectangular prism is 120 cubic meters. Find the volume of the second rectangular prism. Go ahead and do that now. The volume is 30 cubic meters. To find the total volume, I need to add 120 plus 30. What's the total volume? It's 150 cubic meters. Now let's try another. Find the volume of the figure below. Again, I can separate it into 2 smaller rectangular prisms. I know that the top rectangular prism has a length of 6, a width of 2, and a height of 4. I know that the bottom rectangular prism has a length of 8, a width of 2, and a height of 4. Go ahead and find the volume of rectangular prism 1, the top rectangular prism. The volume is 48 cubic feet. Go ahead and find the volume of rectangular prism 2, the bottom rectangular prism. The bottom rectangular prism has a volume of 64 cubic feet. Now I can add to find the total volume. What's 48 cubic feet plus 64 cubic feet? The answer is 112 cubic feet. Let's do a first practice problem. A concrete display structure is made of two right rectangular prisms, a stand and a support. A sketch of the structure is shown below. What is the volume in cubic feet of the support part of the structure? It has a length of 5, a width of 2, and a height of 2. Go ahead and find that volume now. The volume is 20 cubic feet. What is the volume in cubic feet of the stand part of the structure? It has a length of 2, a width of 2, and a height of 3. Go ahead and find that volume now. It has a volume of 12 cubic feet. What is the total volume of the complete display structure? Well, I need to add the two partial volumes. What's 20 plus 12? It's 32. The total volume is 32 cubic feet. Each cube in the figure below has edges that are 1 millimeter in length. What is the volume of the figure? Well, we need to find the volume of the yellow figure and the volume of the purple figure, and then add them to find the total. What's the volume of the yellow figure? It's 60 millimeters cubed. The length is 3, the width is 4, and the height is 5. What's the volume of the purple figure? It's 42 cubic millimeters. So now I can add to find the total volume. What's the total volume? The total volume is 102 millimeters cubed. Let's try two more problems. A factory made a special container consisting of a small box and a large box taped together to hold an item that needed to be shipped. The large box is 12 inches long, 15 inches wide, and 8 inches high. The total volume is 2,000 cubic inches. What is the volume of the small box? To find this, I need to find the volume of the large box and subtract it from the total, 2,000. First, let's find the volume of the large box with a length of 12, a width of 15, and a height of 8. What's the volume of that box? The volume is 1,440 inches cubed. Now I can subtract from the total volume to find what's left for the small box. What's 2,000 minus 1,440? The correct answer is 560 cubic inches. Let's try one more. Kim stacks 10 pieces of wood to form a rectangular prism. Each piece of wood is 2 inches thick with a base that is 25 inches long and 8 inches wide. What is the total volume in cubic inches of Kim's rectangular prism? So I need to find the volume of each piece of wood and then multiply by 10 the number of pieces. Go ahead and solve that problem now. The correct answer is 4,000. The volume of each piece of wood is 400 cubic inches times 10 is 4,000. You've done a great job on this video. For IXL, we're going to practice writing numbers in expanded form using fractions. So go to skill G.16 before taking your exit ticket. You're going to do a great job.